The most fundamental basis of individual freedom is the ability to express yourself, to speak your truth with passion, with conviction, with boldness, and without fear. That is why our First Amendment, the primary amendment to our Constitution, the very initial building block in our Bill of Rights, is a guarantee of our freedom of speech. And that freedom of speech is fundamentally focused on political speech, saying what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is evil, what is acceptable, what should be banned, what should be law, and what should be against the law. Political speech is what made the American Revolution. It's what freed the slaves. It's what separates us from the totalitarians. And yet, our local Democrat leader in our local left-leaning newspaper recently extolled in a column the suppression of free speech in the name of public safety. He argued that the safety of the body politic requires the policing of adult political expression to prevent seditious, riotous political violence against marginalized communities. This supposed Democrat argues that the free and unlimited expression of political ideas is a clear and present danger to people who are vulnerable and to a community which can be turned sour. In other words, my free speech is a danger, an existential threat to poor, little, marginalized snowflakes on the left. Excuse the contempt in my voice, but this self-serving nonsense comes from the first step that every fanatic takes, assuming that anyone who disagrees with the fanatic must be either stupid or evil or both, assuming a rectitude, an objective moral righteousness that they don't own. That's why when the left disagrees with somebody's speech, they call it problematical, as if objectively the expression of conservative ideas is some kind of problem that any fair-minded adult would agree is problematical. No, it's problematical from your personal political point of view. But we've now had generations, plural, of students grow up in schools, K through 12, and then in college, where political speech is routinely suppressed, where there are speech codes, explicit or implicit, where people are punished for expressing points of view, where it's totally fine to wear BLM and Antifa t-shirts, but God forbid if you wear a Make America Great hat or t-shirt. The one expression is protected and liberating, and the other expression is hate speech, which is another Orwellian term for the expression of ideas that left-wingers find hateful. We cannot continue to abide our schools being turned into ideological training camps for the next generation's SS and Gestapo. Furthermore, we should no longer tolerate corporations who should be the greatest proponents of free speech and capitalism, because that's how they made their money, engaging in the suppression of political ideas and the propaganda and the purveyors of propaganda, which is what Hollywood and Disney and so many media companies have become, purveyors of left-wing propaganda and suppressors of anything that doesn't match their message. So not only is the personal political speech of Americans under threat because of speech codes, implicit and explicit, but the institutions of education, entertainment, the media, and big business all now collude to define conservative speech as hateful, as an incitement to terrorism and to violence. But that's not all. Elon Musk's recent firing of a Twitter executive who apparently has been in the process of suppressing the Federal Bureau of Investigation's collusion with big tech companies to suppress political speech with the intent of influencing the 2020 and 2022 American electoral process. That's right. America's federal police force, which is unconstitutional. The U.S. Constitution clearly places policing powers with the states and not with the federal government. But our federal police force has intervened in a partisan fashion to elevate the free speech of people they agree with and suppress the free speech of people they don't agree with the intent of getting Donald Trump out of office and with the intent of supporting Democrats and opposing Republicans. Our FBI has become a special political police that is the literal definition of the word Gestapo. So we not only have the suppression of individual speech, in fact, in name, in every public institution and every public forum, we not only have the institutions of Western culture and Western civilization actively turned on the free speech of anyone who disagrees with the left-wing narrative, but we now have federal law enforcement getting involved in questions of what speech is acceptable and what speech is hateful. We are at risk of losing America, of losing our freedoms. We must stop abiding and accepting the politicization of schools. We must stop abiding and accepting the politicization of our media and entertainment and our corporations. And we must actively oppose and dismantle any system of federal law enforcement that purports to police our speech, our expression, our beliefs, our very thoughts. Once again, the freedom of Americans are deeply at risk, but this time not from foreigners, not from Nazis or socialists or communists overseas, but by an enemy within that, like Biden at his Nuremberg rally this past fall, is willing to damn 1/2 or more of the American people as nationalists, white supremacists, terrorists, and otherwise evildoers who must be fought. Our freedom is at stake. Stop doing business with people who hate you.